And I'll tell you, I'm the queen of a good deal. I really am. And I have made derm effects. Definitely have. I have fought like tooth and I've just to the bone for low deals. Like I have squeezed for my patients like crazy so that people don't ever even go to things like that or have to think about things like that. Oh, yeah. So I used to inject this lady that worked for the FDA and I was constantly like going like, come on, like look at all these people injecting people with fake Botox. Like, why aren't you guys like going after them and whatever? And she said, honestly, Erin, because it's like small on our list because people make fake chemotherapy. Yeah. What? Hey, I'm here with my friend Amber today and my grand dog Nina. Say hi, everybody. All right, we are going to blow it up. What are we going to talk about today?
We have lots of fun stuff today. We're going to talk about counterfeit Botox and counterfeit everything.
What's wrong with people?
Crazy.
I don't get it. I mean, first of all, I get that we all have to save money, right? I just feel like go to the Goodwill and get your clothes. And then, but don't save money on stuff that you're actually, I don't think people realize when they're putting something physically in their body, like what it can do to them. Like it becoming a part of you. That's one thing you've got to make sure. And I'll tell you, I'm the queen of a good deal. I really am. And I have made derm effects. Definitely have. I have fought like tooth and I've just to the bone for low deals. Like I have squeezed for my patients like crazy so that people don't ever even go to things like that or have to think about things like that. But they still do. And then they end up with these crazy injuries or these crazy results and then wonder what happened.
Well, think of the physicians and the people who are doing this.
That's the other thing too.
Like how can
what happened to the Hippocratic Oath? It's supposed to be do no harm.
None. And so the fact that they're doing counterfeit, and I see
really
it
sad.
At Facial Lounge and Skincare, we see it with fake skincare and fake makeup, which is really scary. And you see it with fake Botox. There's places that have fake Botox.
I've been screaming about fake Botox like forever. I can still remember the first guy that I heard about had injected people with, he had bought it somewhere in China, fake Botox, and he injected and, you know, I think it killed like 5 people or they're completely disabled because it stops you from being able to breathe. It's like real botulinum toxin. And like, that's just stuff you should never mess around with. I don't get it. There's just, and the physicians that want to save a buck to do that, and they're like still around, I see them because, and I know that that's what they're doing because it's cheaper than my cost is on it. You know, when you see 20 units of Botox for $100 or something, it can't be real.
No,
it cannot be. So I don't know. It's really bunk. And I mean, hopefully nothing happens to you and hopefully that's okay. But I mean, I've been thinking about like the lead aspect of things too. Like I think I told you recently that I got tested and I have lead poisoning. So I was like, oh my gosh, what? I don't know what it's from. I mean, the guy told me it's usually from people that work in the automotive industry, which I've never worked in. And the only thing I ever do is sit in a car. I don't know anything else about it.
Eat a lot of fish.
So I thought it was from that, but lead is not a fish thing as much, but I've got mercury poisoning too. So then I'm doing chelation IVs and all this stuff. But I do think about it, you know, the lead in makeup and
lipsticks.
It's not supposed to be there.
We eat a lot of lipsticks. I forgot how many lipsticks we eat a year, but just by putting it on, we eat it. I have gotten fake counterfeit. I actually got some fake counterfeit Kylie Jenner products that I bought at a store in a boutique in LA.
On purpose, like just knowing that they were fake, or you just thought, oh, it's a good deal?
They tasted weird and they smelled a little weird. And I watched a documentary, so I knew how to, it's super easy. You can put a product in a Ziploc bag and put a magnet on top to see if it has lead and products. So I did that. And there's a great documentary on this, and there was tons. So I was shocked, and that affects your body. And the real Kylie stuff doesn't have that. So
come on, you guys, it's so scary. I don't know.
And I was just in a little boutique in LA, and I was like, oh my god, they have all the, and they were hard to get, and it was like sold out everywhere. So I was like, cool. It looks
not sold out here.
Exactly.
Well, so listen about fake Botox too, because it's funny how when consumers like come in and they'll act like they're all savvy, like, can I watch you open that in front of me? They have no idea what they're talking about. I mean, we do that for people, but it's ridiculous what they think they know. Well, now Chinese stuff has actually copied the hologram that Allergan did with their logo, thinking, oh, okay, this is how people will know if it's fake or, well, come on, you guys, it's China. They can make anything, like, right? So then when that came out, I was like, you've got to be kidding me. What's going on? And then I want to say maybe 3 or 4 years ago, I saved the bottle too, just randomly in the mail from this pharmaceutical company. I get a little bottle in the mail. It's not, doesn't say it's Botox or anything like that, but it says it's botulinum toxin A, which is what all these brands are, of a brand from there, like just in the mail. And I was just sat there staring, going, oh my gosh, this could be like real. I could kill somebody if that's real botulinum toxin in there, or you don't know what's in there. So why would you? I don't get why you'd even think you would even do that. Like there was nothing in me that goes, let's try this out. It's only $69 a bottle. And you think about how many, I don't know. I was like, I didn't even like it. I was like afraid to even have it near me. Actually, I was
it's really scary.
It's so bad.
And I know some people I know some girls who've had bad filler on kind of like the black market that they were excited about. I know.
The stories I have about bad filler, girl, of like people coming in to get stuff dissolved. It's like,
and that's not dissolvable. It's like,
well, it feels like cement too. It's like
cement.
I'm like, it's literally another lady. Oh, this is a really crazy story. You guys ready? This one, this poor lady came in forever. She's like, had her hand. She would only talk to you with her hand like this. She would never. Her lips were so crazy. I mean, anybody. That's why she had to hold her hand there, because anybody would be like, oh my God. I mean, they were just ghastly gross. And told me she had Juvederm at some salon. I was like, okay, well, just as soon as I was like, can we just have an honest conversation here? This is not Juvederm.
Yeah.
Like, I want to help you, but like, what is this? Or like, bottom line is she doesn't know. No idea. So I'm like sitting there. And lots of other people just refuse to see her, because in California, if you hurt somebody, like you're going to be all of a sudden liable. I don't know what that stuff's going to do, but she was so upset. I decided to help her, right? Even though it's getting harder and harder to help those people, because I don't want to be part of the hell. I mean, I'm sorry that you're in hell, but then I have to get in it with you.
Yeah.
So that's a whole other thing. But anyway, I was like, I got to go poking around in there. And like poked it. And I was like, almost started birthing this like ball. It's like the weirdest thing I've ever seen. And then it like kind of popped, and it literally was like so much stuff. It was like in there under pressure. I couldn't believe she wasn't in pain the way it popped out. And like, she's like, trying to look at me. No, worse than a pimple is she's trying to look at me and it's still coming out. I was like, no. I was like, anyway, we end up with these little tiny beads. I sat there milking her lips. Literally, I make this incision on like 4 incisions, and then I sat there milking beads everywhere. These little tiny baby beads. And I mean, I was like, lady, I don't know how much you want me to milk your lips. But I go, your lips are going to be so black and blue, but there's still stuff coming out. I mean, it was just on and on.
She so happy?
I had assistants in there, like, helping me milk her lips, like in between patients. I was like coming back and milking. Anyway, long story short, it was industrial plastic. I sent it to a lab, and I was like, it's insane.
That is the saddest thing I've ever heard.
I mean, industrial plastic. I mean, I guess they somehow liquefied it. They do liquefy it.
Did she look so much better afterwards?
She did. We had to do it like 3 or 4 times though.
And she
still has some residual like funk, but unless you like really, you don't look at her and go, oh my God, you're a freak. That's the first thing you think in your head, right? It was sad.
Why would she do that? Oh.
You know, it's like somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody. Come on, let's go have some fun.
I guess in the beginning, it was kind of like you had to, like, nowadays people can do research. Thank God they could actually like read review, kind of see it. I mean, usually people are honest, but if it is too good to be true, like my Kylie lip thing for $20, that's too good to be true.
When it's sold out, it's sold out too. It's like, okay, we can't get it anymore.
I think so. And I have a lot of clients. I have clients that there's even smaller brands of makeup. I think it was Jane Iredale I like, and there's one called I forgot the name of the brand. But anyways, I would tell people to get it because it was a clean makeup and it was a good makeup, especially for acne. And then this girl came in and she was breaking out. I was like, can I see it? It looked really similar, but I 100% knew when I saw the powder and the foundation, it was fake.
Really?
And I was like, this isn't real. She's like, well, I got it on Amazon. This is when Amazon was a little less regulated, but it's still.
Is it regulated now? Because I do wonder when I see those things. A little bit
better, but not as like I know because there's certain brands I can't sell on there. So I feel like
I wonder about that too. Like the brands that we sell, a prescription is needed to get them. And then I see them on Amazon. I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah.
How does that work?
Yeah.
It's just fake?
Fake?
Crazy.
Because it's such a huge, it's $1 trillion.
Sad thing is, those people probably think they're just getting a good deal on it too. Like, I don't even really think that they realize.
Shampoo and conditioner, tons.
There's
fake? So much knockoff shampoo.
I guess I never even thought about
the
fake
beauty
shampoo
industry
and
is a
conditioner.
$1 trillion industry. And I'll tell you something, you absorb so much on your scalp.
Oh, I know you do.
And so you do not want cheap, fake.
I don't want cheap fake anything. I've had cancer before. And I mean, I'm hoping that I can be a voice to everybody to listen. Like, don't start thinking about this stuff after you get cancer. Like, way before. That's why I am like, you guys, it's
facial
in or
oils
on your body. Like, come on.
Facial oils are so clean, and we always get people once they're sick, which I want to do a lot of preventative. But I will tell you, people use good skincare usually here, which is 10% of your body, and 90% they use the cheap stuff. So 90% they're using the cheaper lotions that has the parabens, the cheaper body washes, and those have all the chemicals. This is absorbing so much. Of course, it's important to take care of this because it's what we see. This is what ages in your hands, but your body. And I'll tell you, if I can get rid of 2 products forever, truly, for just people's health, if I can take away 2 products, believe it or not, I would take away deodorant with antiperspirants.
I would too.
Because of the lymphatic system, and fluoride.
Me too, girl. I'm all right. High five on that.
Because those are 2 things that
It's a heavy metal. First of all, fluoride. Like people going, oh yeah, put fluoride in your water. And I'm going, wait, what?
It
What is
literally
it? Not a
says
heavy metal.
the poison control.
Yeah.
And the fluoride testing that they did, because in the 90s when we didn't have the internet, and I was part of this whole fluoride thing when this was like a really big deal, there's this great place called The Hub. I still talk to the owner of it. He had all this real information. They were talking about there's a fluoride mineral. And that was the one that was different than the chemical that they're doing, which is an aluminum byproduct.
Oh my God.
They cannot.
Which goes into the deodorant, aluminum, right?
It's so scary. These ingredients are banned in every country except America. We're the ding dongs.
Why does America live? I don't understand America anymore. I'm over America.
Scary. So
like, come on.
Gamble, the cool history of it, scary history. Well, they were owned slaughterhouses. And so they realized when they were, like hosing off the fat, it was foaming. So that's how they started making soap. So they got in the beauty industry in a weird way.
Ew.
But they were the most unethical. They hurt a lot of like lakes and rivers. They were always in trouble for doing really unethical things. So not only for me, it was like animal cruelty and there's all these layers to it, but there's, they weren't very, they didn't care about the environment. They didn't care about your health. And that's the people who really did all the marketing. They raised so much money that they owned, it was like a monopoly on all the ads and everything. So
it stinks because it's so expensive to be healthy. I feel, people that don't have the money for it.
It's crazy. And my friends did a documentary. This is back in the day when they were selling it to they were selling it to, the news, and come to find out, they didn't realize that they bought the thing. They got like 10 grand for this documentary that they did. And it will never see the light of day because Procter & Gamble owns all the ads and all these big companies. So, but we didn't know that at the time. So we were selling, they were doing all this stuff and they signed an NDA. They could never talk about it again. So a lot of the stuff back in the day would never end up on the news. I saw the behind the scenes of my friends went to Berkeley. I got to see the behind the scenes of some really crazy stuff. And I was so angry for them because I thought, oh my God, we're finally going to get this truth out. It's really hard.
It's hard to get the truth out. Number one, a lot of the big money doesn't want the truth out. Number two, people don't have the time and then they don't have the money. That's the part, is they make it so cheap that it's like the thing to do. But that deodorant thing too, I thought, when I got breast cancer, that was always in my head. It's like, is it because I wore deodorant? I used to wear deodorant. I used to wear deodorant. I wore deodorant. I wore deodorant. We have a Mirror Dry. I don't know if you've ever heard of that at our clinic. It's, it kills the odor glands in your armpits. It's awesome and stops you from sweating. And, I'm all about that. Like, just be done with it and don't wear deodorant ever again.
Yeah.
Sometimes people come in there because they sweat a ton. I did it because I don't want to put aluminum on my body.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's another whole great thing. But, the other one, did you hear about that girl with that flesh eating disease?
A little bit.
She got injected like at a med spa with like something for fat, they said. And then they did all these pokes all over her body.
She's an influencer for like fitness.
Yeah, that girl. Hoo-wee. So I even think that, even if it says the same thing and it's coming from China. So it said, I looked at the article, it said deoxycholic acid on it, which is what Kybella is made out of. That's like the formal name for it. So, but I'm sorry, those people like buying it from Alibaba and thinking that it's going to be Kybella. I can only think that you're scandalous. You're trying to make a bunch of money off of whatever. And this poor girl now has these scars and this catastrophe. Yeah, it was, it's penicillin resistant. Like there's no, I mean, and it's just, there's no excuse for that. I just don't understand. I just really wish that the laws about everything would get crazy tighter. I'm so done with all of the scandals. I think America's done with the scandals,
I don't know
right?
if you can say this one, but tell me the one that we're just talking about before that you said the FDA stuff.
Oh, yeah. So I used to inject this lady that worked for the FDA, and I was constantly like, look at this guy. This guy is importing Botox. I'll even give you a list of who. Oh, I have to tell you, remind me to tell you this other funny story about what me and one of my coworkers did. But, so I was like going like, come on. Like, look at all these people injecting people with fake Botox. Like, why aren't you guys like going after them and whatever? And she said, honestly, Erin, she goes, it's like small on our list because people make fake chemotherapy.
I didn't even think that anyone would ever.
After she told me that, I kept like waking up in the middle of the night, like, oh my God, like
that's the meanest thing in the world.
It's evil. Like mean isn't even, I don't even know what the word is. Like, what is the word for that?
Fake lip gloss. I mean, the fact that someone would deal with someone's health when they're in the most crisis time of their life.
It's just inexcusable. I didn't even think that would. They should get the death penalty for that, period.
It's unbelievable. Absolutely.
Yeah, so they went after this doctor in Florida that, I guess, for like Medicare fraud, but like he like murdered people. I guess, yeah, he's not going to get out of jail for the rest of his life, but like, I don't know. I feel like he needs to be something more.
Oh, no, it's horrible.
I don't know.
I knew a doctor also who did skin cancer fraud and was testing all these people for skin cancer and saying they had it, was making a ton of all old elderly, constantly cutting them out. And the nurse found he would take the samples, but they were just being thrown in the back. And she took pictures and turned it. He was just saying they were all cancer, all of them, 100%. He had the highest, but it's in Florida also.
Oh,
but
my
there's
gosh.
always kind of a joke
These
about
poor
Florida
people.
doctors. But they're in the southernmost too, so you're
not going to question it. Who's going to question it? No one's going to be like, let me look at the pathology myself. Like,
100% of his patients had cancer. He never had, like, every single person who walked in, he told them they had skin cancer, and there's girls old ladies who had, and I thought to myself, what a horrible human. At one point, did he just wake up and go, I should stop doing this? At any point in life,
I don't know what
he was
people
in practice
think.
for like 30 years.
It's super duper sad. It's so.
Yeah.
It's like just pathological evil, I guess I would call it.
I didn't even think there's an evil out there like that.
I didn't either.
So, when it comes to health, it's like,
what about your Hippocratic oath? I still can't get over that. You take an oath. I guess oaths don't mean anything anymore. It doesn't, right? Anything to get ahead, it's fine. You can just do it everywhere. I mean, I guess it's in every industry, really, when you think about it. Yeah. It's like, it's here, it's there, it's everywhere. And it's kind of like, oh yeah, this is what it's going to be. But, this is hilarious, and maybe I shouldn't even say this out loud because, well, I guess if you got a letter from me, whatever. So after hearing this from the FDA, I was like, me and one of the girls that works for me, we decided that we would send out our own. We were going to make our own letter that we would send, and we made up we had a whole logo. We had like healthcare snakes going by so that it looked like a government official. And boy, did we send out our own letters to like all of these places saying cease and desist. Like we do, we laugh, like, you know, those when you're laughing so hard, you're like going to throw up kind of laugh. We were just sitting there going, we put an 800 number on there too, an account number. Like, oh my God, it was hilarious.
Maybe you saved some lives because
who knows? But anyway, yeah, I was like, cease and desist.
They better stop.
If they're selling fake crazy.
Botox, I love you for
that. I
can't
stand it though. It's like you want to be on a fail. I just want to play the game fair.
Fair.
That's it.
Just get real products.
That's it.
We know when it's being
really good price.
Injectable, when it's going in your body, they better come from the actual place. I mean,
that's it. Period.
I didn't even think people would go outside. Why would you risk? Why?
They want to save money. It's about money. It's just all about money, which there's plenty of money to make. I don't know. Just don't hurt somebody doing it. Oh my God. The fake. Yeah. I think people just think they're getting a good deal and they could never get hurt by it. Yeah. But also shame on the doctor too, because maybe the person's even thinking like, well, even if the doctor got it from China, he would never hurt me.
Yeah.
He's a doctor.
And these doctors, they're not intentionally doing it, but their doctors are not doing their due diligence. They're not taking time.
That's the part that's scary.
They're cutting corners. I'm sorry, if there's a company that knows what they're doing, I'm not cutting a corner ever. Like,
you just don't do it. Period. You just don't
Botox,
do it.
fake, never.
No. Any of it fake. It's being injected in your bloodstream absorbs that, whatever's in that.
Yeah.
Do people not realize that? I don't know. I don't get it. Even putting it on your skin. I wouldn't even want fake Botox rubbed on my skin, let alone injected, right? I mean, it's true though, all the stuff.
I have had an injection before, and the guy was doing it so gentle, but it was dripping down my face. I could tell
he missed.
He missed. Not everyone. There was a moment.
That's too gentle.
Yeah, it was.
I didn't feel a
kind of
thing.
swollen. I 100% didn't take it. It just dripped. And I remember thinking, I wonder what this is doing to my skin. And I told him, I said, it's dripping. He goes, no. And he was wiping it. But he never really got, it was like he wasn't wearing glasses. It was bizarre. Both sides. And I swear half of it got wasted on my face. And I remember thinking to myself, what is he doing? But, and then I thought to myself, I don't even want that on my skin. I remember running home washing my face off because I literally had
That's
Botox
hilarious.
all over my
Sometimes
skin.
when I'm injecting into somebody, the needle will pop off the syringe and like hyaluronic acid will go all over somebody's face. It's like it happens. And I'll usually be like, oh my God, stop, whatever we do. I'm like, I just start rubbing it all into them. I go, this is like the most expensive facial you'll ever have. I go, let all this dry right on your skin and don't take it off. I go, it's like the most expensive facial. Yeah, I'm like, this is really what you want on sitting on your face. It's all clumpy. And I'm like, well, it's okay that it looks a little crazy, but just leave it right on there till you get home. Yeah. So it kind of reminds me of the weird little things and dripping around, but
it's funny because I thought to myself, this is the biggest waste of money. It's literally dripping down my face.
To feel it dripping down.
And I said it.
Like 20, 40, 60, 80, $100 just drip. That was what 5
I knew
drops.
it didn't take, and I knew. And it's funny because I used to only start with my 11s, which always made me look good and relaxed. But over time, I was like, I'm closer to 50. I'm like, give me all. Give it all to me.
Yeah, let's hit it. Oh yeah, well, we got to talk about all the beautiful things we did to your face, didn't we? We went to town on Amber's face.
We did.
Yes, I feel like we're gonna have to show your before and afters for everybody to know how.
It was great.
It really is, and
I got some cheeks. I got a jawline. I got my lips done, and it wasn't Botox. I think you probably got Botox. Daxify.
And you had all the RHA fillers.
RHA and Daxify. And I was actually really excited. I'm so excited because I didn't realize I was going to get so much. I knew I was going to get hooked up, but I was like, she hooked me up.
I don't usually do that many syringes on somebody,
but it was fun
in that little a time either. So that would probably, how long were you swollen for?
Oh, it wasn't bad.
Oh, it wasn't? Oh, good.
No. And it was fun because you did it so far back that the bruise was kind of far back. And then I have this weird puffy thing that you helped a lot because it just drives me nuts. I mean, it's still a little bit there, but it's not bad. So that bruised a little bit, but not bad for I got arnica cream and it was really not bad at all. And my lips didn't bruise at all.
Oh, great.
And we got my lipstick.
Oh, yeah. You're looking very, very sexy, lady. Woo. All right. So I'm so glad you didn't bruise. So that was kind of good or get very much swelling because that's something I really have honed my own craft into doing. And what I really tell girls now to try to memorize is those blood vessels and arteries going around because people want to get back to their life. Like we don't remember you, but your life is still going on, right? Yeah. So it's like, yeah, I know that the bruising that you're affecting people with doesn't bother you at all. But, if I give somebody a black eye or I hear that they were black and blue for 3 weeks, I'm like, oh my God. Because I know what that would do for my life, right? Yeah. So what about this poor girl that got her lips done? Are you joking? I don't know what this swelling is all about. But I will tell you, I have a couple of, first of all, if I saw these, I would be wondering if she's having any other symptoms, like unable to breathe or feels like her throat is closing because that's abnormal swelling. I don't know what.
I've never seen that much lip swelling in my life. That is just the most uncomfortable thing. They look like they're going to burst.
Yeah, they actually look they're red and beefy, angry. Yeah, they literally look like you could pop them like a blister almost, right? There's no shape.
Blistery, yep.
There's no anything to them. Is this girl breathing okay? That's what I would wonder. And then if it is regular filler, it would make me also think, okay, did the person inject her 400 times? I see those pokes where they just like a sewing machine. I don't know. I feel like there's just a gentler way to do it. I really do. Because the other thing is we massage and mold so much with our hands afterward that
all those pokes.
That all melts into one.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for somebody to convince me that I'm wrong because I want to learn new ways. But I took all these classes with that whole, they call it the Russian lip, whatever. But I'm like, but I do that, but with angling the needle like that without ever removing it. I'll put some, you know what I mean? Without going, plus the pain factor.
Well, I was gonna say, I didn't bruise. And you even said when you did my lips, you're like, you might bruise. So I was kind of ready. And you did tell me put pressure. It was this corner. And I was a little okay, I might bruise. I didn't.
Okay.
So it was kind of interesting. The pressure was really good.
Right. Because I tell people it's like getting your blood drawn. You know, when they put that super tight thing on you?
Yeah.
Well, you're going to have to help me with I want to make an invention where you have pressure points on the face, but where people can still breathe and see. Because like, you know, to get bruised, like you have huge arteries that run right in the middle of your face. But if we had a way, because sometimes I'll tell people to put pressure and then I feel like, I'm like, no, like man pressure. Like, look how hard I'm pushing. Like, can you feel how hard I'm pushing? Like, I'm putting leaning on you.
Hold it. It's
pressure. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it really helps with bruising.
Yeah.
And I think because lots of my patients are getting to be pretty elderly now.
They bruise easier.
Yeah. I can't, and I don't want them to get off their heart medication, you know, to do it where I'm like, they're like, okay, honey, I haven't taken my heart medication this week. I'm like, no. Oh God. Are you crazy?
Yeah.
So, yep, it happens. So yeah, this poor girl, I'd wonder. And then when things start to swell too, do you really know where you're placing that product to? You kind of have to do them more quickly than that. They want to act like it's like some Picasso art where you stand back and look, but are they swelling? I don't know. I try to do my injections pretty quickly because I really want to know what's what.
Yeah.
You sit there and stand around and you wait and you ice and you do this and that. You can't really see.
Yeah. So true.
I don't know. So I have like a lot of hangups of like the way people train these days too. But that's a whole other conversation, right? I'll be like, okay, you guys, hello. Anyway, how about this poor girl that
dermaplaned herself at home? I see this the most at Facial Lunch.
Do you?
I get at least 1 or 2 calls a week for people who did their home dermaplaning. It can cause a lot of acne, a lot of nicks. I know a girl I've never seen anything like it, had perfect skin, dermaplaned herself at home. And there's a lot of aftercare. So like if someone's getting a facial with a dermaplaning, we like cleanse, we prep the skin, we exfoliate, we do the dermaplaning,
right?
We do recovery, we do a mask, we do cryoglobes to cold to close the pores.
Right.
There's a process that really helps so that they don't break out afterwards, because dermaplaning is exfoliation that can cause.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking to myself, do they just dermaplane and put makeup on and go? But this girl's face, it's been a year, is still. She doesn't come to me often. She buys skincare once in a while. But when I saw her skin, it's just unbelievable. So,
like, what happened to this girl? I hope that this is the other thing. If you guys are going to do this at home, I think I would, and tell me if you agree or not. Like, if anything makes you bleed, you need to just throw that razor away.
Oh, it's one and done.
Like,
a lot of people are using eyebrow razors, which are they're almost not close enough. I know this sounds crazy, but if they're going to do it, I'd almost tell them to use a shaver, like a man's shaver, and do a fresh blade. Especially because that will, and just go downward, like with the hair. You want to go down. A lot of times they're going back and forth. They're going up against the hair, but they're nicking themselves and they're causing so much. I mean, it's called dermaplaning because it literally is like a scalpel that scrapes your skin off. But I don't trust people. I don't even do my own dermaplaning.
Yeah.
Like I'll do my lip once in a while, a little bit around my eyebrows. I can do it.
I do my eyebrows with
but
one of
I
those,
do.
but if I bled, I would toss that thing because immediately it's going like, let's grow some stuff too. Well, I'm the infection. I'm like thinking like,
oh yeah, no, there's
I don't have the stuff at home at my house, like just to clean that like it should be
so
clean.
If you do it yourself, do it really gentle. Don't try to do the professional way. Just go follow downwards towards your heart and then ice your face afterwards. Cleanse and no makeup. Like it's just keep it super clean.
Yeah.
Wash your pillowcase.
Because it does take the stratum corneum off your face, which is like that protective waxy layer. And so all of a sudden anything that wants to get in there can.
Yep. So no hot yoga, no jacuzzis, no swimming, no saunas. Make sure to change your pillowcases that day. Another thing is I don't do any fabric softener. They have wax to keep a lot of bacteria. So I tell people just wash their pillowcases and just fragrance-free detergent. And then wash your makeup brushes. That's super important. They have a lot of bacteria, everything will absorb. And makeup brushes, I tell people to do them once a week. I put those in the sun. So I always dry them like in the window. Oh. Because a lot of people wash their makeup brushes, they're still damp, put them in a drawer and they get moldy. So after dermaplaning, it's the aftercare that's the most important thing.
Okay. Well, good to know. Yeah. These infections too, you guys. The other thing is if I would say come to somebody like a nurse practitioner at a med spa or something like that, where if there is a medical something going on, like if somebody's like got pussy something going on that's not their normal, you know, at least have somebody evaluate that to be like, okay, get rid of that infection because it's sitting there festering, creates scarring.
Mm-hmm. I make people go, I tell them to go to urgent care, call their doctor just to make sure they don't have, I cannot diagnose anything, but I usually will know, or even like that itchy fungusy. I tell them, make sure to clean it. Neosporin's fine for emergency, but always we do not diagnose because
You
you
can't.
just
Yeah.
don't
Well,
know, and it's
I
not
don't even
worth
like
it.
Neosporin, just so you know.
I don't
Neosporin,
either,
people
but
get so rashy with it.
I had a girl. We had a girl who got a facial, and she didn't wash her face after. She just didn't know to. We have an aftercare. She just didn't, and so I told her she has to wash her face. It was a few days later, and she goes, "Well,
a few days later.
So I said, just wash your face. She goes, "Why?"
What about the gunk in your eyes? Even I'd be
said,
like,
I can't. So I just said, if you have Neosporin, she goes, I just have some. I said, perfect. I don't love it either, but in that moment, I just was like, anything to get this girl to clean and go. And then she went to urgent care, and she did. I forgot what she had, but it was like a
staph infection or something.
Well, it wasn't that serious, but still, God, what was it called? It's at the tip of my tongue. But anyways, she's fine. But aftercare is important. We do send out an aftercare. We have a card and everything. So but she thought that what we put on her, she didn't want to wash it off.
okay, well,
And she was young, and she wasn't mad or anything.
yeah.
But I was like, no, we gotta. So we sit.
Yeah, we want to teach you guys to do it all right. Like, just start off right, then it's not wrong.
Yeah. So I don't.
If you're not right, you're wrong. That's
You're wrong. Yeah.
quote of the day.
Mhm. So I don't love home dermaplaning, especially acne. Just don't do it.
Don't do it. Yep. All right. Well, nice to see you as always. I'm so pumped you're here. And all right, everybody, we're here to crack it open for you. If you have questions, you want to know what's what, you think something's bunk, I want to tell you, please write in, call in. I am your girl. I will explore it, and I will crack the code.
Yes.
Till next time. See you guys.